Oh, before we get going, when Chris was recording this, he forgot to ask you to like and subscribe. So if you could do that now, we can get cracking.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Just a quick disclaimer before we start today's video. I am recording this in November, but the video is technically a bit about Christmas, so this is happening. It's also a video that's a bit about racism, mostly about racism, but I weirdly haven't got a fun jumper for that, so we're going with this. Sainsbury's have put out their new Christmas ad, and it's a lovely, it's a charming ad about a family. It shows like pictures and video of them enjoying their Christmas meals in the past, having a nice time together at Christmas, and they're also talking on the phone about this year's Christmas and whether or not they'll be able to meet up, whether they'll be able to see each other and enjoy the traditional family meal, mum's roast potatoes, dad's gravy. And it's, it's a typical kind of Christmas family stuff that we've all been through, and we're all worried about that this year, whether we can meet up and how different and strange things are going to be. So you might be surprised to learn that there's been quite a lot of controversy around this advert. So let's just take a quick look at the advert now and see if we can spot what it is that's upset people.
Hey.
Hey, it's me.
Oh, hey, love.
How are you? How's mum?
Yeah, well, we're fine. We're all good, we're good.
I'm getting so excited for Christmas.
Christmas! I just really hope I can see you lot.
Me too. I cannot stop thinking about mum's roasties.
Whoa. What about my gravy?
Okay, so you might still be a bit confused. Don't worry, I didn't get it straight away either. I didn't spot what's caused all the upset. The first time I saw it, I just thought it was like fun and charming. I didn't realise it was controversial. What it is, right, and don't edit this out of context, what's upset people is they've put black people in it. Yeah. Now, again, like me, you might be thinking, well, that's fine. That's not a problem, is it? In 2020? And the answer is yes. Yes, a lot of people are very upset. And honestly, I wish that I could say that I was surprised. I'm not surprised because recently I joined some politics groups on Facebook, not just sort of left-wing ones, but more sort of general politics and discussion to kind of get out of my own echo chamber a bit and gauge how people really feel about stuff. And guys, I want back in the echo chamber. It is terrifying out there. Like, there are just so many horrible, nasty, mean-spirited people. I've seen people sort of genuinely gloating because Sainsbury's had to lay off some staff, and saying it's because they're so woke, because they stood up to famous man of the white people, Lawrence Fox. This is the kind of tone of political debate in this country. So I'm not really surprised that people are slagging off this Sainsbury's advert. I'm just disappointed. The thing is, I think we judge a culture by the media that it leaves behind, because that's what we have left to see and judge it by. So you look back at the 1970s and you think, oh God, look at curry and chips and love thy neighbour. Isn't it awful that black people were only on TV to be like the butt of racist jokes, and they had people blacking up or putting on comedy Indian accents and all this kind of stuff. Isn't it brilliant that we're not living in that society now? God, the 70s sounds awful. And then you look at the media today and you go, oh, there's loads of sort of black, Asian and other minority people appearing in adverts, appearing in television shows, working as presenters all over television. What a wonderful, progressive, modern, multicultural world we're living in. This is much nicer and we can pat ourselves on the back, but it doesn't take long. You don't have to scratch the surface very hard to find a cesspool of racism underneath, and it's really upsetting. The other thing as well is if you try and point out racism as a white person, you get accused of virtue signalling, which I feel like the term virtue signalling has become entirely twisted. To me, virtue signalling should be someone sort of showing off about going above and beyond to be particularly unusually virtuous. Like someone sort of going, oh, so you just go and put your recycling out for the bin men to take, do you? You just do that level of recycling. I actually don't feel they recycle enough, so some of the things they won't recycle, I will actually take in my car and drive down to the recycling centre. I just think you've got to do your bit for the planet, guys. And we think, oh, I already recycle and it's hard, and you want, oh, what a bloody virtue signal, making me feel better. Right, to me is what I feel virtue signalling should be, you know? Instead, people get called out for virtue signalling when they're just doing really baseline stuff like saying racism is bad. To me, that's like sort of going, do you know what? I've realised that trains are like a shared communal space, and how I behave on a train can affect the people around me and make their journey more pleasant or unpleasant. And I don't want to have a negative impact on people's time when they're just trying to get somewhere. So when I'm on the train, I've stopped deliberately shitting myself.
What a bloody virtue signaller.
So anyway, people really kicked off about this advert on Twitter. They were atting Sainsbury's left, right and centre. Some of them were taking a humorous approach, making jokes about wanting a white Christmas, or saying it's Christmas in Nigeria, despite the fact that the family in the advert all clearly have British accents. Someone was saying that they're not going to shop at Sainsbury's anymore, they're going to go to Tesco's. That's one in the eye to Sainsbury's, but at least Tesco's will be making some money off all the racists, so that's... bad news, racists, you can't go to Tesco's either. Someone said that since Sainsbury's went all woke, they've been shopping elsewhere and they've actually been making a saving, so screw you. And I really want Aldi and Lidl to kind of get together and be like, well, okay, I presume you're talking about us guys because we're, you know, famously a bit cheaper than some of the big supermarkets, so if you came to us, you would be making a saving, and we're glad that people recognise that, but on the other hand, you racists can go fuck yourselves. That would be good. I'd like to see that, a little bit of collaborative spirit at Christmas. My favourite one, though, is someone that just said, "This doesn't represent me. I can't see myself in this at all. I can't relate." Which is crazy to me. Let's have another quick look at a bit of that advert.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What about my gravy?
What about your gravy?
Hey, you, what's going down?
Dad, not the song.
Gravy boat's coming to town. It's not any old ship, just take a sip. It's filled with scrummy and saucy bits.
How does Mum put up with you? Your gravy is pretty good, to be fair, and I just really want to be home for it.
Yeah, so like I say, they're talking about roast potatoes at Christmas, they're talking about the gravy, the family meal, they're looking forward to seeing each other, they're hoping they can see each other in this crazy year that we've all been collectively experiencing, right? No one hasn't been having 2020, no one's been doing a different year while we've all been doing 2020, have they? Because I will kick off. If we have to go through 2020, everyone has to go through 2020. But that isn't happening. Everyone's had a really strange, weird year, and this advert's addressing that. There's even a bit in the advert where the dad starts singing a song and embarrassing his daughter. God, imagine a dad embarrassing a daughter. Imagine seeing that advert and just going, I can't relate because their skin's a different colour to mine, so I can't relate to any of this stuff. It means nothing to me. I can't imagine what it would be like to have that little empathy, that little imagination, to not be able to relate to this advert.
I love all the Beatles, but if I had to pick, I'd say my favourite member, Paul McCartney, hands down.
Oh, okay, so she seems to be talking about the Beatles, which are a band that I love, and my favourite one in the Beatles, by the way, is Paul McCartney. He's clearly my favourite one, but the thing is, she's saying something about them, but she's saying it from the perspective of a woman, and she's got things that I don't have, like a uterus and a womb. So it's really hard for me to get where she's coming from, to be honest with you.
I bloody love wrestling. I cannot wait for next year's Royal Rumble.
I bloody love wrestling too. In fact, the Royal Rumble is my favourite of the big four pay-per-views. I look forward to that every year. I guess me and this guy probably would have a lot to talk about, a lot in common, but the trouble is I think I'd find it hard to relate to anything he has to say because he has a beard and I don't. I love my wife. I think she's the best thing that ever happened to me. Oh, that one was literally me moments ago expressing an opinion that I hold. I should be able to relate to that one, but the thing is, I've edited in a helicopter crash an explosion into the back of that shot, and you see now I've just got a bookshelf, so it's not exactly the same, it's not exactly precisely the exact same thing, so I can't relate to that at all. Got no way to grasp what I was thinking back then when I said that thing that I still think and believe. No. I was having a conversation with someone recently and they said, oh, well, you know, these companies, they don't really care about this stuff. It's just driven by money, right? And I can see that. You know, these are adverts at the end of the day. In a capitalist society, they are always going to have the ulterior motive of trying to get us to buy some stuff. They're not, I mean, it's not even ulterior, is it? That's pretty surface level. They're sort of going, hey, Sainsbury's is good, buy at Sainsbury's, right? And maybe they're expressing that through kind of progressive, it shouldn't even be progressive, it should just be the status quo, right? But like progressive ideals that they, maybe some of their, the people who work there don't really hold or care about, right? It's possible. But I really think that it is better when people think that expressing those ideals is the way to make money than the opposite, you know? Like, I'd far rather companies were pretending to be kind of multicultural and interested in these issues in order to get our money than they were just, you know, going, oh, we can't have any black people in it because we don't want to scare the white folk with the money. Anyway, let's take a quick look at what some of the other companies are doing this Christmas in their adverts. Oh, look, Aldi have got a nice talking, walking carrot who's trying to make it home in time for Christmas. And he's going for a ride on the back of a hedgehog. There's lovely. Much more relatable. Oh dear. John Lewis has embarrassed themselves here. Anyway, a group of people who are definitely not racist are my patrons over on Patreon. Thank you to all of them. Their support helps me keep this channel going and just makes me feel happy and gives me a boost as well. So thank you to them. And if you want to support my channel or get access to my comedy special, the artist currently known as Chris Chopping, as well as other exclusive content and badges and flyers, you can do that by going to www.patreon.com/Chris Chopping. And now we just have wait out the end screen, I guess. Put some Christmas music over the top of this, maybe. Bye. Bye.